Greetings, debaucherers! Ghost Rider is back from his 4th of July celebrations, and I'm back from, well, not going anywhere. Ghosty had a rather tame 4th of July, tapping the keg around 8:30 in the morning. Only a few keg stands were had, and the keg was finished less than 12 hours later. The only fireworks that occurred were in the toilet, as the after effects of the chili dog eating contest. Jesus Christ. No, Ghosty. We've fallen far enough on this recap as it is. Please don't tell me we're switching recurring jokes from boobs to the bathroom consequences of chili dogs. Where can we possibly fall next? The actual sewer? It probably explains why Ghosty has such a dirty mind. He went for a swim in some septic sludge. Well, the first septic skirmish of the week was between two former champs, Dominic's The Dominator versus Albert's Dr. Hoptologist. Coming fresh off of his annihilation of Jimmy last week, Alberto had some high hopes coming into this week. Kyle Schwardaddy destroyed those hopes. With 5 bombs and 5 RBIs with a 400 OBP, he obliterated the ball. Marcus Semien is starting to look like his old self, adding 2 bombs in a bag for Dom. Clayton Kershaw had a standout performance with 10 strikeouts and a 1.2 ERA. Dom's pitching impressed as he had 7 fewer innings, but won strikeouts anyway. The Dominator got to the chopper and unleashed a 9-1 beatdown on the Hoptologist. Not sure there's enough beer in the world for that one, buddy. Next we had Dylan's Rock the Vote versus Rick's High and Tight. Dylan finally got out of his oceanic prison, and his lineup went to work, with Mookie Betts hitting 3 bombs and Byron Buxton doing his usual thing. No, not get injured, but hit bombs and steal bags. I feel like we should explain this. Dylan is an oceanic explorer, and he was stuck in a room on a boat in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico because he had COVID. He's healthy now. He's fine. That's why you guys won the last couple weeks. At least that's what Dylan wants me to tell you. For Rick, Corey Seager blasted 4 bombs, and that was most of his team's offensive production. Dylan's pitching staff had a toilet bowl-worthy ERA of 4.6, but Rick's ERA was incredibly much worse, with an absolutely septic, there it is again, 8.13 in 34 innings. It's almost impressive, but it isn't, and Dylan takes this one 9-1, making him a co-beatdown of the week winner. Let me get 2 blasts to the horn this week. Next, we had Andrew's 3rd place You Don't Score Until You Score baseball versus Devin's 1st place Meet the Robinsons. After the glorious defeat of Devin losing last week, he had hoped to bounce back against the American Pie guy, Andrew. Andrew's offense didn't show up much in terms of power, with only Alex Bregman hitting a couple of home runs, but made up for the lack of juice by winning the 4 other categories, including runs by 1 and OBP by 1 point as well. I know somewhere Ghost Rider is grinning way too big right now. For Devin, Tommy Edmonds stood out with an OBP of 80 for the week, probably why he got snubbed from the All-Star weekend. Pitching-wise, Mackenzie Gore gave up 8 earned runs in 3 innings, while Shane McClanahan did the unthinkable. He gave up a run in July. Oh no. What Andrew lost in quality starts and strikeouts, he made up for in ERA and whip. Andrew takes this nail-biter 6-4. Cue the non-chili dog-related fireworks. Next up, we had Boobs in the outfield versus Fukin Fukin. For Sierra, Jorge Polanco had himself a week with 3 bombs and an OBP of 430, and her team had 3 bombs beside that. She managed to take Sold's ERA and whip, however. Fukin Fukin's offense went Fukin bonkers, with Wilmer Flores, Bo Bichette, Chris Bryant, Brandon Nimmo, and Manny Machado hitting multiple bombs for a team total of 14. What's the problem with that? It sure looked like his pitching staff was throwing to those hitters, as his ERA landed in just under 5. The team's tied on quality starts, leaving the 5-4 matchup in Fukin Fukin's hands. Next, we had All That Yaz versus 108 Stitches. Well, Stitchy heard us talking shit about her and not checking her lineup, so she switched in Austin Riley, while also subbing out Jose Ramirez. And no, fine listener of this podcast, I'm first in line to trade for Joe Ram. Okay, maybe Ghost Rider is, since he's probably been there since draft night. No matter. Austin Riley blasted 3 dingers, which proved to be the difference in the category. Her pitching cheese strat netted her ERA and whip, and surprisingly, quality starts. The 2 teams tied 5-5. Yay, he says, enthusiastically and sarcastically. Next, we had Jimmy's Drive Monkey Drive versus Kyle's Dinger Swingers. For Jimmy, Lindor blasted 3 bombs, and Aaron Hicks appeared from out of nowhere with 2 bombs, 2 ribbies, and 2 bags, sporting an OBP of 529. For pitching, Sandy Alcantara had a double start with 14 strikeouts over 15 innings and an ERA 0 and a .06 whip. Whew. The Swingers managed to nab runs, RBIs, and bags. Both teams battled for strikeouts and quality starts, probably waking up some of you at midnight by picking up their Sunday streamers. Jimmy dropped his catcher to get Alex Wood, while Kyle made do with Jake Eggs over Easy Odorizzi, who had 10 strikeouts against the A's Double-A team, their current roster. Both teams ended in a tie in strikeouts with a 77 piece. Jimmy took the other pitching categories, giving him a hard-fought 6-3 victory.
Drive, Marky, drive!
And lastly, we had Pat's 72-74 A's versus Charlie's Frankie Spanky BBs. For Charlie, Trevor Story hit 3 bombs, Soto and Stanton added a couple each, and each infielder he has hit a bomb. He was able to take 4 offensive categories, with Pat tying stolen bases with a Sunday afternoon stolen bag. Pitching, however, went the exact opposite, with Pat taking all 5 categories, giving this 13th place team a narrow but solid 5-4 victory. Congrats! And now it is time for awards. Leading off, it's the Jose Royd Seiko Award, going to Mr. Royd Boy himself, Dom's Zadominator. Ah, yes, I am the king of the roids. I hit bombs and Zadominate out the park into the... I'll have you know that was all typed out for me, and it was very odd. Nothing to see here. Hadouken! Next, we had the Oakland Liquor Store Award with Alex and Kyle's teams tying up the category with 7 bags of contraband each.
Heineken, fuck that shit!
Up next is the Dominatrix of the Week, and yes, the Queen is back on her probably leather-covered throne. Yes, Stitchy's .77 whip takes the award. Probably some blood for this week. Check your stool.
What color is my underwear?
Next, we had the Brazzers Choke of the Week, and, well, Spanky losing to 13th place makes this inevitable. We'll still enjoy the Warriors fan getting this week's shame. Congrats to you, sir.
What are you doing, step bro?
And last but certainly not least, we had Debauchery of the Week. And this week it goes to Andrew and his team, You Don't Score Until You Score Baseball. That dad strength is already kicking in, isn't it? Well, that's it from me. I hope you all have an enjoyable week. And be sure to punch Ghost Rider anytime and every time you see him, because you're going to start thinking about chili dogs. Voice Guy out.